All right, so I am done at the doctor's. I didn't hop on here earlier. I guess maybe I should have or could have. Today was my second round of nerve testing. That's not fun. I mean, it's annoying. It's like they talk about diabetic neuropathy feeling like insects crawling on you or bees stinging you. Yeah, well, this is both. This is being crawled on and being stung at the same time, um, and having to pay for it. I I gotta figure out why I'm having to pay for so much of this. It doesn't seem like my insurance is covering any of it, and I am sure that I have gotten. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. I would like to think that I've gotten some correspondence explaining some of the expenses that I'm incurring. But I don't know if I have or not. I do tend to ignore them because most of the time I can't make heads or tails out of them. In spite of the fact that they're usually issued to me in 15 different languages, I don't speak any of them. Um, but it is what it is. The doctor was surprised that the damage in my left foot or leg seemed to be near minimal, and the right leg was beyond extensive. So, don't know why there's a difference between the two, but apparently there is. It's the exact opposite with my arms and hands. So today I asked the technician who does the first half of the test. Imagine a TINS unit, an isolated TINS unit that you can point right where you want it to bop you. About 150 times. Like to the point of twitches, uncontrollable twitches is what she does. And I'm only assuming, I didn't ask more questions, but it's like they are able to measure the time between innervation and response. She has little spots all over me, little electrode whatever's all over my legs, previously arms and wrists, hands. So while she was conducting this first half of the test, I asked her, I said, okay, so this is all well and good that we're finding out that there is indeed nerve damage. I'm not just psychosomatic stuff. And I said, that's great that now we know, but what are we going to do about it? And basically she said, nothing. Which is probably why my insurance isn't paying for this, because all they're doing is confirming the fact that I have nerve damage. Does it impair me in any way? Yes and no. It's kind of hard to tell at this point because of the extensive damage that I've had orthopedically in my feet. And there's no certainty that the orthopedic issues I've had in my shoulders hasn't some way impaired my hands. But knowing what they know about the complications from diabetes, it's more likely diabetic neuropathy. My father has it. There's no reason that I wouldn't have it. I'm assuming that my older brother has it. We were all diagnosed with diabetes at the same age, so it's not out of the realm of. I won't even say it's out of the realm of possibility. It's most likely all diabetes related. So anytime that your A1C is over 7, they say that you are at risk for long-term complications from diabetes. I don't know anybody who has been diagnosed with diabetes whose A1C was not significantly higher than that. I mean, you would have to be higher than that to have any kind of symptoms that would cause you to test to see if you are, in fact, diabetic. So, anybody, unless somehow you found out you're diabetic way before it got bad, and by bad I mean over 7, much less double digits, which is where mine was, Um, Now, my brother, if I recall, his initial test showed that he was well higher than I was, but I was double digits. So that means at that point, damage is already done. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no going back. Um, I have seen and read multiple things that say alpha lipoic acid, which is available over the counter at your drugstore, is supposed to help. I have taken that for as many years as I can remember, and it may help. God, if it does help, and this would be worse without years of taking that, I can't imagine that I'd be able to walk. They did ask me today, and they asked me last time too. Actually, last time he didn't ask as much as tell. He asked me if I am ever unsteady on my feet. And in all honesty, I had to say, yes, I am sometimes. I would say rarely, considering. But, yeah, sometimes I am. I'm also 50, and I also try to do too much sometimes. I'm 51. Is it nerve related? I don't know. I'm able to exercise. I've never unintentionally dropped weight when lifting, or flung a kettlebell anywhere, or any of that kind of stuff. I have worked through the pain of my orthopedic issues in my feet, and maybe sometimes working through that pain has been made easier by the fact that I can't feel my feet all that well. Sometimes the pain in my feet might not be the orthopedic, it might be the nerves. Who's to say at this point? I don't know that they can tell. The technician and the doctor who does the second part of the test, were not surprised. I was told, this is encouraging, I needed to hear this. I was told today that my exercising has most definitely helped in this situation. I didn't tell them how addicted to exercise I am. But, yeah. So, the doctor then comes in to do the second half of the test, and he's the, if we're going with the ants crawling versus bees stinging analogy, I'll say that the technician is the ants and the doctor is the bee. Because he puts needles, I don't know, half a dozen places on each leg, and then asks me to perform physical tasks with the muscles that are in the area that he is a needle. And I can't see it. I could see it last time, but this time I couldn't see it. It was facing the other way. He's got a monitor there that indicates that the nerve has been activated through my muscular action. And I really cannot figure out why they were so, why my two legs were so different, functioning-wise. But they were. So, like I said, that's all well and good. I know that now, but if there's nothing we can do about it, I'm wondering what's the point. I thoroughly expect to get another bill, in spite of the fact that I paid my copay today, and I paid the bill that I got because of the last visit a month ago. And it is what it is. So, between the facility I was just at and my house is Stroessner's Bakery, and they have good sugar-free items, so I'm going to get some. See ya.